Hello. Welcome to the first part of unlocking a new skill every day. At the beginning of this part, we see that at Blue Star New Era 2088, MC is walking while looking at his phone. He walks by a girl who is live streaming. She tells her viewers, "Show me your love and send me some lovely little flowers." Two rabbit ears popped up above MC's head. He thinks, is that a live stream? People are so open-minded now. His name is Lin Xiao. He is 17 years old, student, ability Animorph, type rabbit. He thinks, isn't wearing that outside a little too much? She sees him behind her and thinks, an Animorph rabbit? He must be weak. This will be fun. She tells her viewers that, guys, I'll be expecting a rocket if I can take him down in a minute. One of the viewers sends her rockets and says, whoa, you're doing that out there? Darn, what a lucky rabbit. She goes near him and asks, you have a pair of bunny ears like me, but yours look so real. She touches his ears. She smiles and uses her abilities. He starts to float in the air. She tells her viewers my mission is a success. He's down. She gets a rocket. He is on the ground and thinks, such bad luck. I just had to encounter a prankster. He hears a truck's honk sounds. He gets hit by the truck. He goes flying. Driver gets angry and says, what the heck? Don't block the way, you disgusting rabbit. She says, look guys. The rabbit is flying. He coughs blood. He thinks, why am I so unlucky? I grew up in an orphanage, and while I awakened as an Animorph at 15. But because it's a rabbit, I've always been ridiculed in my school that's full of people with powerful abilities. This is the law of the new era on Blue Stars, survival of the fittest. In a forest full of ferocious beasts, a rabbit can only wait to be torn apart. Driver says, darn it. I hit a darn rabbit with my new truck. Hey, get up and pay up. Xiao is bleeding a lot. Driver uses his abilities and asks, are you acting dead? This is what you get for touching my truck. Driver hits Xiao with his electric abilities. Xiao thinks, is this the end of the road for me? Darn it. If only I could become strong. He hears a voice saying, after 35 million years, I finally found a suitable host. Finally. Driver is still hitting Xiao with his electric abilities. Xiao opens his eyes. He is standing somewhere which looks like game character window. Heating, where am I? There are a lot of skills floating around him. System says, Robot 9527 at your service, master. Xiao asks, raw butt? What raw butt? System gets angry and tells him I'm not a raw butt. Just call me 9527. Xiao says, fine, 9527. What's going on here? System tells him, you're the most suitable host I've found in millions of years, so I've used the power I accumulated over 34,990,000 years to save you. Xiao gets happy and asks, then I'm still alive? What are these buttons? The skills on them look awesome. Are they all my abilities? Can I choose anything I want? System tells him, Dramon, I can awaken a new skill for you every day, but they will be random. Ka starts to break while saying, random? System tell him, reviving you exhausted too much power. You don't have sufficient power to select skills anymore. So, Xiao is frustrated and asks, darn it, couldn't you have found me a few minutes earlier? Wait, if you revive me, then I will return. System asks, where you died. Xiao asks, wouldn't I die again if I take a useless skill back with me? System replies, it's out of my control. So, it's time to make a decision. Will you awaken a skill now? Ka smiles and thinks, forget it. I got a second chance at life, so I will. He shouts awake. A system window appears saying, congratulations. You've obtained triple S skill enhancement. Driver asks, is he still alive? A skill window appears. Skill description, Rabbit Stomp enhances leg strength to improve the power of kicks and jumps. Ka jumps. A really loud bang can be heard. He destroys the truck. Driver gets angry and says, how dare you treat my baby like that? I see you want to die. Ka kicks him and tell you're the one who wants to die. The streamer girl is surprised and says, stay away from me. Another skill window appears saying, Rabbit Punch enhances arm strength to improve power and speed. He says, fainted already? I only intended to cover you because wearing so little is an embarrassment to the city. Someone on the phone says, darn rabbit, Take your dirty hands off her. Ka tells them I'll only say this once. So listen up, kids. It's Lord Rabbit to you. After that we see some girls are talking in the class. A girl with glasses asks, "Did you see the news yesterday?" Other girl asks, "Are you talking about the car accident?" Blue-haired girl tells the bunny-eared guy who showed up on that popular streamer Chongmin's broadcast. "I think he's from our class." She says, "Bunny ears in our class? Do you mean?" This photo is clear. Lin Xiao gets to the class. All the girls surround him and ask him, "Bunny, is it really you? You're all over today's headlines. You're amazing." Lin Xia, "I watched the stream yesterday." We see a flashback where both driver and the streamer bow in front of Xiao and tell him, "I won't cause trouble again." She tells him, "I won't pull pranks on anyone again." He says, "It's good that you've come to your senses." She thinks, even the news reported on it. After that, "It's all thanks to the skill I drew from the system." He thinks, "Speaking of which, I still haven't drawn on my skill for today." He calls the system. System tells him, "Understood," automatically skipping the drawing process. He gets the skill Fertilize the world rank E. The girls come near him. He thinks, "Fertilize? What the heck? Is this free content?" All the boys of the class are jealous and angry. He thinks, "Why isn't it working?" System tells him, "The skill has been added successfully and repeated tapping is pointless." He thinks, "I've received the skill?" But System tell him, "Are you having dirty thoughts?" Fertilize the world grants mastery of all seed-related sowing techniques. So even the most difficult species will definitely grow under your care. He gets angry and shouts, "What the hell? You should have just called it sowing then. Why did you give it such a suggestive name?" All the girls get scared and move back. A boy comes to him and says, "Hey, Bunny Lin, you seem popular with the girls and you do deliveries after class. So, how about I recommend a job to you? If you're lucky, you can even make thousands every day." He is Li Nan, Wind Awakener, Bronze 4-star. Lin asks, "What kind of work is it?" Lin thinks he's always looking for trouble with me. So why would he be so nice? Li tells him, "I know a Club X that's recruiting. I'm sure you'll sell like a hot cake there with how you look." Lin is surprised and thinks, is he actually recommending that kind of club to me? Lin says, "I see you're a regular there." Huh? Li says, "Of course." Everyone starts to laugh. Li realizes and asks, "Wait, why would I ever go to a place like that?" Lin told him, "I understand. Things like this should be kept a secret." Li gets really angry and tells him, "It's not like that. I didn't." "That's a lie. How dare you?" A teacher appears there and asks, "Do you want a demerit for fighting in class? Get back to your seats. I have 2 important announcements to make. Next week is the city-wide final exam. I hope you'll study well and get good results. And for the awakeners among you, there'll be a special exam, and it will be watched by prominent figures. It'll decide if you're admitted to the Awakeners University." Lin thinks, after the dawn of mana, Awakener universities were established on blue stars to develop awakeners with potential. Due to the university's limited resources, ability exams are one of the ways to test a student's abilities. Not only was I a Rabadon Morph, but my talent was also a mediocre bronze 2-star. But I have 9,527 now. So do I have a chance to? Lin says, "Teacher, I want." Teacher told him, "Lin Xiao, maybe you shouldn't participate in the ability exam. With your level of talent, you'll only be an embarrassment for our school." Lin is really surprised to hear that. Lin says, "I want to participate in the ability exam." Teacher told him, "You'll only make a fool of yourself with that mediocre ability. So in order to preserve the school's honor," Lin thinks, "just wait until I unlock an amazing skill. Then I'll crush all of you who are looking down on me." Teacher tells him, "I'll give you a chance if you can get in the top 10 in the city during the final exam." Lin says, "Deal." Teacher says, "Then show me your results." Lin has an angry look on his face and says, "I'll get into the Awakener University no matter what." After that, at the 18th high school entrance, Lin is running. He thinks, besides my grades, the tuition fees are really high too. I may not make much from my work, but every bit counts. A really expensive-looking car stopped in front of him. A girl comes out. She asks, "Are you that little bunny?" Lin sees her and thinks, "Whoa, who is this beauty? She's gorgeous." She is goddess of Key High School Qin Zhenjin. Lin realizes and thinks, wait, did you just call me little bunny? Why do girls always call me that? I'm a true man, and it's so embarrassing, especially when it's such a beautiful girl. He brings out his phone and says, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lin Xiao. You can call me Chia or handsome. Here's my number. Please don't be shy. Changmin the streamer is also there and she says, stop trying to act cool. Lin is surprised and says, you're the streamer from that day? She returns the coat. He says, you're a student too. When I saw you on the streets, I thought. She tells him, that's my little hobby. So keep it a secret. Lin asks, your hobby is famous online. So a secret? Zhenjin says, hey, Min, is he the really strong Animorph you told me about? She is Qin Zhenjin, Ice Awakener, Silver 1 star. Citywide top high school beauty, reigning, citywide top scorer. Min tells Zhenjin, yeah, he crushed a Bronze 2-star Lightning Awakener with ease the other day. Zhenjin tells, it was just a 2-star opponent. Min says, but he crushed someone of the same rank with ease. So he seems much stronger. Lin tells her, you're too kind. If you wish to see it for yourself, I wouldn't mind showing it to you. She says, forget it. Min's returned your clothes, so we're leaving. Lin thinks, but I haven't gotten her name or number. He says, you're leaving already? Why don't we look for a quiet place to park? She asks, Spar? Are you sure? He says, yes. Why? She thinks, a mere Bronze 2-star dares to ask me for a spar? She says, I never refuse a challenge. But considering the huge gap in our strength, let's keep it civilized. We'll compete with our results in the final exam. He says, perfect. We'll do that, goddess. I mean, Zhenjin. She is surprised and says, Zhenjin? Who said you could call me that? He says, so what's the wager of our competition? She says, if I lose, I'll take back everything I said about you, and you can ask for anything else. She thinks, I won't lose anyway. He asks, I can ask for anything? Min says to Lin, hey, I don't think you should go ahead with this competition. Zhenjin is. Zhenjin says, Changmin, are you coming or not? She says, coming. Lin says, thanks for the warning, but I won't give up. Min says, see you. He receives a message and thinks, who sent me the message? He gets a Meld's order. Order details. Expedited. They're going to beat me up. Help. Anyone. Phoenix Internet Cafe's entrance. Name your price. And bring a big group. He thinks, I name the price? Of course I'll take it. He goes really fast on his bike and says, I'm coming, my sugar daddy. After that we see someone saying, are you tired of living, fatty? He says, please stop. I'll apologize. Or I can even pay. He is Zhang San Healing Awakener Bronze 9-star. He is crying and saying, please don't kill me. One of the bullies says, we want the money, but you're not escaping either. You think money can buy you out of this? No way. I'll kill you. Lin gets there and says, hey, that isn't very nice. Bullying in this day and age come with consequences. Bullies say, where did this idiot come from? Do you want to die? Lin says, you think you can? One of them says, get over here. You arrogant little bunny. Lin has bring a lot of people with him. They say, how dare you cause trouble in our territory? Do you want to die? Just 2 of them? That isn't even enough as an appetizer. They both starts to run. Zhang says, that was amazing. I really found a local boss with a delivery app. He says, don't let me catch sight of you again, or I'll get my big brother to beat you up. Lin says, I'm not your big brother. Zhang tells him, I must repay my savior. You're my big brother from now on. Big brother. Lin tells him to stop. I don't want a lackey. I just want the money. Zhang says, money isn't a problem, but you must accept me. Zhang tells Lin, I'm Shang San, the most handsome guy in the city's high school system. I'll follow your every command from now on. He gave him 30,000? He is really surprised. Lin distributes the money and thinks, I'm Rick. I promised 70 colleagues 100 each to get here, so that'll only cost me 7,000. The balance is enough to pay off my tuition fee. Lin says, fine, I'll take you in. So, how did you get in trouble with those gangsters? He thinks it would be a waste to reject this rich brother of mine. Zhang tells Lin that it's nothing. I just used a female avatar to marry someone in a game, and he wanted a voice call. So I used a voice changer, but he was sitting right across from me. And he even had a lackey. Darn it. Lin is surprised and thinks, damn, what an outlaw. Lin tells Zhang that anyway. I've got to get back to work. Zhang asks, Big brother, how about I escort you to the new rolls 998? Lin says, it's fine. This kid is really rich. He thinks my luck has been great today. I filled up my pockets and met a gorgeous beauty. I should head home and hit the books. I can't lose to her in the final exam. After that, we see the next day the teacher says, time for class. Lin looks like a zombie. He thinks, I'm so exhausted from studying all night consecutively. But he'll be telling us what to focus on today. I need to get my head in the game. He calls their system and asks for the new skill. System gets angry and says, you just had to ask while I'm sleeping, huh? He thinks, whoa, can a system sleep? System says, congratulations. You've obtained photographic memory. Photographic memory imprints everything you've seen into your mind. It's a must-have for the Imperial examination. He thinks, wow, it sounds amazing. Let's give it a try. He sees a question and an answer appears in front of him immediately. He gets excited and thinks, just look at anything I don't know. Easy. Pictures, text, and even punctuation. Everything is imprinted in my mind. Everything is so easy now. No one can stop me in the final exam now. Teacher gets angry and says, how dare you? Lin Xia. He stands up and says, yes. Teacher asks, why are you smirking at a physics book during a language class? Lin replies, I just thought of something happy. Teacher asks, happy? What's there to be happy about with your results? Have you forgotten about getting in the top 10? Lin tells him, I did. Because it's too easy for me. Teacher asks, easy? This year's recitation exam is the longest ever. But what has your score always been, huh? Lin says, stop. Just stop. Don't bring up my past glory. I'm not good at memorization. How about you choose any page? I can even memorize it backwards. Teacher is surprised and says, what? Lin Xiao, I know what you're capable of. Just give up on the ability exam and don't bring shame to our school. Lin says, stop looking down on me. Just cut the crap and do it. Teacher asks, let's start with something easy. Travels with an immortal. What's the second half? Lin replies, that's it? Embrace eternity beneath the moonlight. Teacher says, your luck must be good. Next, predecessors. Lin stops him and tells him, you don't have to continue. Predecessors must be taken as an example, or tragedy will repeat itself. This is the only ancient saying that starts with predecessors. Trachea is really surprised and starts to look around the book. Trachea says, impossible. Observe without desire. What is the second half? Lin tells him, desire with experience. Teacher gets happy and says, huh, you're wrong. You think you can get into the top 10 with that? Other student says, wait, he said it backwards. And it's even one of those that doesn't have to be memorized. What the heck is going on? Amazing. Lin starts to walk and tells them, I'll see all of you during the exam then. Teacher coughs blood. After that, we see on the day of the result everyone is really surprised and says, have heard? The top scorer is from our school. Impossible. Someone here took the top spot from Qin Jinjin? Who is it? Li Nan? No. It's the weakest awakener in our school. Lin Xiao. Everyone is shocked and says, impossible. Lin says, nothing in the world is permanent. Lin thinks, it was absolutely easy with my photographic memory. Lin tells them, I'm just that outstanding. It's time to study my opponents in the ability exam. Li Nan screams and says, darn it. There must have been a mistake. It's impossible. After that, we see 10 days later ability exam venue. Host says, let's Linvice the representative of the 30th military zone, the top 100 principals in the country, and the top 100 companies in the world. The participants from 18th High School are entering now. They took the top spot in the final exams. Jinjin is really angry and destroying stuff. One the examiner asks, what's wrong with her? Something seems off. Other examiner told him, don't you know? She was the top in the first and second exams, but someone took her spot in the final exam. Lin gets there and says, "Hey, goddess, over here." She is angry. She asks, "All right, tell me what you want for winning the bet." He told her, "I was wondering why you were in such a bad mood. It was just a joke. Don't worry about it. Or you can treat me to a meal, or I can do it instead." She says, "Why would I want that? I'm sorry for calling you weak." Lin thinks she's so cute. A host gets there and says, "Wow, aren't these the top 2 scorers in the final exam? They're actually here together." She says, "What? Together? We aren't." Host asks, "I heard the top scorer is a bunny?" Such commendable bravery to participate when he's so weak. Lin smiles and tells him, "I'm here to take first place too." Everyone starts to laugh and says, "A bunny is talking about first place. He must have gone mad from studying. You think too highly of yourself, and you were just lucky in the final exams. Get ready for a beating in the arena. Trash. Stay away from our goddess." Host is really surprised and asks, "The first?" Lin snatches the mic from the host. Lin tells everyone, "I have nothing much to say to all of you, except I'm number 1. Pray for the candidates you support, and hope they don't run into me." Host snatches back T5 mic and says, "Watch what you say." Other candidates are really angry and tell him, "You're just a low-level Animorph. Fight me if you dare. You better pray you aren't paired against me later." Lin Xiao draws 66. Host clears his throat and tells everyone to be silent. Now for the rules. The format is 1v1 arena battles. The winner advances and the loser is eliminated. We have 257 participants today, and we've sent their numbers to their mobile phones. As we have an odd number of participants, there will be a bye. Now, the lucky person will be chosen at random. Everyone is praying for themselves. Lin is yawning like he doesn't care about it. It's number 66. Lin says, "Oh, me?" All the candidates are really angry and asks, "Darn, how is that darn bunny so lucky?" Then let the competition begin. Participants of the first match, please take the stage. Lin thinks, "Lucky. Every match counts." We see that Junjin is fighting in the first match. Host says, "An instant kill." Lin is surprised and stands up. She froze her opponent. Host tells, "The first winner of the first match is the Silver Rank Awakener, Qin Junjin." One of the candidates says, "As expected of the new star amongst Awakeners. She's amazing." Lin thinks, "Whoa, she's a Silver Ice Awakener. As expected of my goddess. She's awesome." Lin brings out a book and thinks, "No, I can't lose. I should study my opponents and be a man worthy of her." 10 minutes later, other candidates are fighting. Lin is watching the matches and thinks, "I can't do it. Watching these flashy moves is making me tired." Lin calls the system and thinks, "It's time to work." Lin tells the system, "You've been getting lazy. You don't even talk to me anymore." System tells Lin, "Because I can't be bothered with a noob." Success. Congratulations. You've obtained Physical Enhancement S rank. Lin tells the system that, "S rank? Finally. You've been giving me lousy farming skills all these days. I almost mistook you for a useless system." System tells Lin, "Please watch what you say or you'll never get anything nice again." System asks, "Enhance now?" Lin tells him, "Yes. I can't wait." His shirt gets shredded. He gets a nice body, and the system tells him, "Enhancement is successful." Lin smiles and thinks, "Damn, it's this amazing. I'm a strong man from now on." He starts to flex. Even his pint is shredded. Everyone is looking at him. Min says, "Mr. Bunny." He asks, "Have you never seen a handsome guy?" She points toward his pants and says, "It's not that." He looks at the pants. He screams really loud no. The host says, "Round 2 is over with 101 advancing participants. We'll draw the next by now. Who will be the lucky one?" It's number 66. Lin Xiao. After that we see at day 2. Host tells, "The lucky one is." It's still number 66, Lin Xiao. After that we see on day 3. Host says, "I'm getting tired of this." Number 66, advance into the top 35 with a bye. Host comes to Lin and asks, "Lin Xiao, please tell us how you feel about the consecutive buys." Lin replies to the host with a sigh, "I don't want this either. It's honestly so boring. My blade yearns for blood. All other candidates look injured and says, "Stop showing off." I refuse to believe the next buy is yours too. Darn kid. Is he the god of luck or something? You better pray you aren't paired against me. Linan thinks, we're fighting for our lives here. But that weakling keeps advancing for free. Linan snatches the mic from the host and tells Lin, "We fought many battles to get here, but he's equally ranked when he hasn't even fought once. I refuse to accept this. I choose to withdraw, so he stops getting a buy." Host snatches back the mic and says, "Unbelievable." Linan's withdrawal will force number 66 Lin Xiao to fight in the next round. Lin gets to the stage. His opponent tells him, "Lin K, your good luck is over now." Lin thinks, finally, now I can test my strength after the enhancement. Host asks, let's see who will be king. Lin Xiao's first opponent. No, 88. Lei Dian. Lei Dian is Lightning Awakener, Bronze 8 star. Lin sees him and thinks, looks like he's my opponent. Huh. Lei Dian tells Lin, you're dead. Lin thinks, do you have to be so against me? Host tells, number 66, the Bai Kings, first match will start now. Lei Dian asks, you're Lin Xiao? You've run out of luck now because you're unlucky to have me as your first opponent. You won't have a chance to show off your skill either. I'll crush you in an instant. Lin replies with a simple okay. Lei Dian really angry and tell him, I've changed my mind. I'll torture you solidly and give you a humiliating defeat. Lin replies okay. Lei attacks Lin and asks, can't you say anything else? Just die. A big explosion happens on the stage. Lin is fine. And tell him you took too long to charge up. Your previous opponents must have been weakling to let you hit them. Lei is surprised and says, impossible. How could you have avoided that? 1. He uses lightning blasts. Lin easily dodges all the attacks. Lei gets really angry and says, this is your doing. He uses lightning ocean. Lin thinks, lighting skills are many times more powerful than other skills. I almost died from a bronze 3-star lightning skill the last time. The consequences of getting hit by that would be unimaginable. Then, I'll end him before he launches the attack. Lin jumps Lei really fast. Lei is surprised and thinks, he's fast. He's an Animorph who hasn't transformed, so while he's fast, I should be able to endure his strength. He goes flying and thinks, I can't. Host says, unbelievable. Number 66 knocked out a popular participant like Lei Dian with a single punch. I declare Lin Xiao as the winner. Lin is also surprised and thinks, wow, physical enhancement increased my strength that much. Audience is also surprised and says, what the? Is Lin Xiao that strong? A single punch took out Lei Dian? Zhang Wen, Vice Prince of J City's Awakener University says, you made a mistake? Huh? I told you he's mine, so don't fight me for him. Lu Zhan, Vice Principal of M City's Awakener University replies, are you so sure of him after just a single match? Zhang Wen tell Lu Zhan, I watched him carefully, and he didn't use mana. Lu Zhan replies, impossible. That punch was at least comparable 10 strength to a bronze 8-star power awakener. If that bunny didn't use mana, then how terrifying is his physical talent? After that we see day 2. Host tells, number 66 Lin Xiao versus number 12 Shen Gue. Start. Lin Xiao's opponent is Shen Gue, bronze 9-star, wolf Animorph. Shen Gue gets ready to fight. Lin thinks, what a terrifying aura. Should I transform? Lin also gets ready to fight. Shen Gue kneels and says, stop. Admit defeat. After that, in the next round, his opponent again admits defeat. The round after that, his opponent admits defeat and asks for his autograph. Lin Xiao gets to the top 8. He thinks, hun, I'm in the top 8 already? Lin lies down and thinks, being invincible is lonely. So lonely. He thinks that something interesting would happen during this ability exam, but it's just a waste of time. System tells him, stop. I'm on your side. Don't say a word. He tells the system, perfect timing. I haven't drawn a skill for today. He gets the skill Spear Proficiency, skillfully wield any type of spear you can imagine. He thinks, Spear Proficiency? Do people even use that kind of weapon in this age? Jinjin gets there and calls his name. Lin gets up smiling and asks Jinjin, are you here just to see me? She replies, I'm only here to say a few things. He thinks, My goddess is here. He tells her to go ahead. I wouldn't mind hearing a little more too. She asks him, I plan to form a team and explore a bronze dungeon during summer break. Are you interested? He asks, a bronze dungeon? He thinks the dawn of mana naturally created countless dungeons filled with mana beasts and treasure. Mana beasts are like a treasure trove. Not only is their skin precious, but some even produce mana pearls that help awakeners grow stronger. She asks, I'm inviting you to a bronze dungeon, so are you interested? He thinks, treasure and dungeon together? Wouldn't that be a date? She tells him, there are 6 other besides us, so safety won't be an issue. He starts to cry and thinks, darn it, give me back my sweet date with Junjun. He tells her, I accept, but why do we need others? She stands up and tells him, all right, I'll contact you when the time comes. Lin tells her, huh? You're leaving? We can continue our chat over some coffee. She tells him, prepare well for your matches. I won't go easily on you. After that, on the day of finals, host says, we're finally at the finals. Are you ready, everyone? Everyone is cheering for Junjun. Host says the match is between Qin Junjun and Lin Qiu. She points at him and tells him, I won't let first place escape me again. She thinks, Lin Qiu, you may have joined my team, but it's no reason to give you first place. Lin tells her I don't care about first place. He thinks, you don't have to make a big deal about it. If it wasn't for my promise during the previous interview, I would just admit defeat now. Junjun is a silver awakener. Lin says, but I advise you to admit defeat now, because I won't be holding back. They both get ready to fight. She tells Lin Qiu, not only is my ability ranked silver, I achieved a black belt in Taekwondo a few years ago. I may not lose to you in physical fitness either. Lin says, then please be careful. He jumps toward her. She easily deflects his punch and appears behind him. She kicks him in the back. He thinks she wasn't lying. That was a pretty powerful kick. If it wasn't for physical enhancement, that would have been enough to knock me out. But the match has only just begun. He jumps toward her. He punches her a lot. She blocks all the punches easily. She appears behind him and says, too slow. She hits him with the elbow. She tells him, just give up. Your fitness levels are extraordinary, but your technique is terrible. And I haven't even used my ice ability. He thinks she's right. I can't let this go on. Wait, I've got an idea. Lin tells the host I need a pause. He gets down the stage and grabs the mop and asks, can I use a weapon in this match? Host tells him, Lin Qiu, in the history of our exam, there's never been such a shameless. Junjun says, it's fine. Let him use it. She thinks, what the? Is he looking down on me? Then don't blame me for being ruthless. She asks Lin, can we begin? He says, let's go. This spear is called a mop spear. It's made from the cleaning lady's mop, and it weighs 1.2 kilograms. Lin gets ready to fight and tells her to take this. And don't cry when you lose. Mop breaks. She sees that and thinks, something's off. He's like a veteran warrior with a spear. He jumps toward her and says, if you're not attacking, then I will. He was about to hit her. She dodges the attack. She thinks his spear technique is outstanding. He hits her on the butt. She says, you pervert. I'll kill you. He tells her, it's muscle memory. It really wasn't intentional. I can't stop it. She uses Ice Thorn's basic ice skill. Lin says, let me explain. Lin dodges the Ice Thorns. She uses an ice seal and says, you forced my hand. He thinks, it's freezing. Even my body feels slow. Junjun casts skills so quickly. I won't be able to attack if I don't morph. He gets surrounded by ice thorns. A big explosion happens on the stage. She says, host, call an ambulance and declare the results. Host says, all right, the winner is. Lin is fine. He tells her, it's not every day that we have time alone, so don't rush off. He jumps toward her and says, your bunny is coming. He uses ice armor. She gets hit. Her armor starts to crack. She thinks, he's strong enough to break my ice armor after morphing. And my arms are getting numb. Am I taking a second again? I refuse. I won't accept this. She advances to Silver 2-star. Lin thinks she advanced in battle. She'll get hurt from the slightest mistake at this moment. He says, Judge, let's pause. Someone's cheating. Host says, "You again. Another cause? This isn't cheating. She's advancing, you idiot." He asks, "So advancing in battle isn't a cheat?" Hosts tell him, "You're the biggest cheater in this exam, so shut it." She thinks he actually didn't attack me while I advanced. She smiles and thinks, he's quite a cute bunny, isn't he? She tells him to stop fooling around. "Let's continue." He gets ready to fight and says, "Sure, let's do it." She gets ready to attack and tells him, "Be careful. I'm much stronger than I was earlier." Lin jumps to dodge the attack, but he gets hit by the attack. He thinks her speed and attack are much greater than before. He uses the spear to spin in midair. She keeps on attacking him. He thinks, "Darn it, I'm finished." He hit and thinks, "My hands are completely numb. My body may be comparable to a bronze 9-star. My mana is only bronze 3 stars. I can't endure an attack like this. I can't let this go on." He speeds up. She is surprised to see his speed. He gets to her, and she tells him, "I underestimate you. I didn't know you had such explosive power." She is about to use an ice throne. He thinks, "I can't let her launch another wave." He grabs her from behind. She says, "What are you doing? Let me go." He says, "No." She punches him and says, "Let me go." He thinks she's too strong if she doesn't stop struggling.